Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. Tonight, I'm here with
Ejubi Wiafe Akinting.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes is the Mahama government attempting to gag free speech with a new bill targeting social media. Well, that's a claim being made by the minority in Parliament. Also, coming up,
laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, the intent of causing fear and panic, is one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed.
So that's Kojo Ponkruma, his former Minister for Information. Will be finding out from him what exactly they know that they are fighting. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, Education Ministry clarifies position on the use of local languages as medium of teaching in schools. But there are more questions that remain unanswered. We'll be trying to get some answers here on the show for you tonight. And later on Eyewitness News, in Binduri in the Upper East region, 5 people were shot over the weekend. 3 of them are dead in renewed inter-ethnic conflict. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Bank of Ghana tightens anti-money laundering rules to safeguard financial sector.
That's from the Citi Business Desk in the next 15 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including in Takrady on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM. In Sunyani on Greener 95.9 FM. In Nkawie on Adwinpa 99.9 FM. In Hohwe on Heritage 107.3 FM. In Sogakope on Freedom 88.1 FM. In Saboba on Radio Gaki 88.3. In Garu near Binduri on Quality 88.7 FM. In Nalerigu on Nobia 98.1 FM. We are live on YouTube and live on Facebook. We are interactive. Join us with your messages 0549 986 996. That's the WhatsApp number 0549 986 996. On Twitter, now known as X, mention me at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973. Do add the hashtag Eyewitness News when you send your messages, and the world gets to hear your views on the stories we are bringing you tonight. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I'm Umaru Sanda here with Ejubi Wiafe Akinting. What brings us our first story.
The minority in Parliament has raised concerns over what it describes as an attempt by the government to criminalize free speech through a newly proposed legislation. The caucus indicates that a draft bill in circulation seeks to make it an offence to post or share comments in online chat groups that are deemed offensive or insightful. The minority says the move follows President John Dramani Mahama's recent directive to trace the IP addresses of individuals spreading hate speech and inciting violence and to hold them accountable. Addressing journalists, the Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayerebi and former Minister for Information Kojo Nkrumah cautioned the government against what he calls a dangerous encroachment into the arena of free speech.
Even the Criminal Libel and Sedition Act was repealed by the Kufuor administration. There are still remnants of laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, the intent of causing fear and panic, is one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed. Instead of repealing that to advance, democratic freedoms, the government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously.
Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayerebi and former Minister of Information Kojo Nkrumah.
Let's get more on this. Do you know what Dr. Tia Kabiru Mahama is NPP Member of Parliament for the Waliwali constituency. He is also a member of the Information Committee of Parliament. He's joined us on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you very much, Joe Barron. Good evening to you and your cherished listeners.
Good evening to you. Is it the case that this is rumor mill you're discussing, or there's a draft bill, properly so called, before your subcommittee?
Well, so first and foremost, it's a rumor mill. Rumor mill in the sense that a document is in circulation. I have seen the document, I've read the document. That document has not been formally presented to the committee. That's the appropriate committee, the Select Committee on Information and Communication. So for now, it is proper, it is within its well to say that it's a rumor mill. But that said, we have had the president hinting on it. We have had the minister speaking to that particular document. I suffice to say that it means that that is a reflection or a suggestion of the intention of the government. And that much as it is not a formal document before the House and before the committee, we can treat it with the seriousness that it so deserves.
Even though it could be someone who used Microsoft Word to write anything they so wish and published it?
That's something that to the extent that the minister is responding to people on social media on it, to the extent that the minister is commenting on it, to the extent that it comes on the back of the fact that the president had signaled his intention to bring such a bill, I can say that it carries some bit of weight. We can't just jettison it because we feel like it has not been properly so late before the committee or before parliament.
Okay, what clauses in so currently it is the thinking that it is a genuine document. That's why you are concerned. Now,
Exactly.
having perused it, what in there ought not to be in there?
Well, so the key problem and the key concern of that particular document is the amendment made to Section 67 of the Cybersecurity Act. Right. That amendment clearly encroaches on the freedom of speech. It clearly stifles the freedom and the right to free expression. Clearly, it's a revisitation of the era of criminal libel, and then a government trying to use this particular bill to reintroduce the criminal libel, to criminalize, to make libel a criminal offense, rather than leaving it to the area of private law, civil case. So that section is what I am concerned about. Equally, if you read it, it makes sweeping statements. For instance, it defines cyberbullying to include sending unnecessary, sending unsolicited, sending unwanted messages to someone. For instance, let's assume that there is a message I see in circulation and I forward it to Umar Sanda. That is an offense under the Act.
If you know, or you ought to have known that that message is wrong and you still forwarded it intending to spread mischief, that is fair, is it not?
That is not what the bill actually says. It's part of what it says, but that is not what essential says. It says that, and if you would just indulge me, I'll read that relevant section for you. It says that Section 67 of that proposed bill is proposing that cyberbullying on online harassment, and it said a person shall not, with intent or with the internet or any form of electronic media or technology, to bully a child or an adult. 2, a person shall not use a computer or any other electronic medium to send a threatening message or leave message to a child, to make sexual advances towards a child. Person doesn't make contact with a child or other person without his acceptance. Then my interest is not on this one. My interest is a person shall not create false identity online or fake social media for the purposes of following. It's also that they're following a child or an adult where the contact is unacceptable. That is 1. 4 is saying that a person shall not use any online computer service or any other electronic for tracking location. That is also okay. But let's read to the part that is even much more, absurd. 6, it says that a person shall not use an electronic device or medium to send unwanted, unsolicited, a frightening, an obscene, harassing, a threatening, whatever. The list go on and on. Message to a person or a child. So this is a simple list. What qualifies as unwanted is not defined. What qualifies as unsolicited is not defined. What qualifies as frightening is not defined. So you put everything in here, you are basically limiting the ability for people to even speak. Because I don't know what qualifies as unwanted to Umar Sanda.
Okay. If you could just indulge me, I'd be grateful that you stay on the line. I want to speak to someone who is from the house with you on the government side. Maybe he has some more information and possibly help us with explanation. So if you don't mind, I'd be happy to cross over to your colleague.
That's all right.
Great. So that's Dr. Tia Kabiru. He's NPP MP for Wale Wale. Let me speak to the NDC Member of Parliament for Nadoli Kaleu, Honorable Anthony Suma. He's a member also of the Information and Communications Committee, which Dr. Tia Kabiru belongs to. Honorable Suma, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
Do you know anything about this draft bill in circulation? Is it authentic? Do you know anything about it?
Well, I will go the line of my colleague Kabiru. We know that there's a draft bill, but the bill has not come formally before Parliament. So we will consider it as such and discuss it as such, but it's not formally before the House.
Okay, so it quacks like a duck. Definitely, it would be a duck in the chamber very soon.
Surely.
Now, he has difficulties with at least one of the clauses in there, which talks about forwarding information deemed unwanted and unsolicited to a third party. He says that is a problem, and the fact that it's even going to be criminalized, an amendment to the existing law, he finds it problematic. Do you find anything problematic with the draft bill as it's in circulation?
I just wish we didn't have to go to talk about the content and the merits of this draft bill, because as a committee, definitely the bill will be laid in Parliament and it will be referred to us. I just want to welcome the opportunity for people to discuss the draft bill and raise their concerns, because that will definitely enrich the process that the bill will be taken through, particularly at the committee level where individuals can submit memoranda, appear before the committee, and then make their suggestions for consideration. And also at the point that we'll debate the bill, and then go further to consider the bill clause by clause. So if there are issues with the content of the bill, we can deal with them at the appropriate time. But I think that there's a procedure, and my friend and brother, Kabiru, Dr. Kabiru is very, very much aware of that procedure. And that procedure we availed. And individuals, people in the industry, an ordinary person who have issues with the content of this bill can bring them forth. Definitely, we are there foremost to protect the populace. And we can't be doing anything that will gag individuals. But we also have a responsibility to pass legislation that will protect national security institutions, and individuals. So, for instance, my brother is not suggesting that unwanted messages being sent to a child should be allowed. And he also knows the procedure that where we have provisions like unwanted messages, frightening messages, there's a provision at the interpretation section for the Act to explain these provisions. And we have always done that in the House. While going through the bill clause by clause, if they are that will lend themselves to ambiguous meaning, we can always clarify that in the interpretation section of the bill. So I think that we are probably putting the cart before the horse.
Okay, but when we see that the horse may not be able to move the cart, it's good to question it even before the movement begins. Now, so
that's why I said that.
Yes.
I indicated that I welcome every opportunity. In fact, I've seen all the concerns on social media about the bill over empowering the authority to serve as a police, to serve as whatever, the judge and everything. Those are very excellent and welcoming provisions. They will inform us.
And it will not take us back to 1984. I mean, the popular George Orwell book where Big Brother is keeping an eye on you constantly. Clearly, that would be uncomfortable. That would be an abuse of your rights. And that's the fear of people against
I can assure you that the Select Committee, together with the entire Parliament, will not pass a bill in your inbox and see what you are doing. We have that mandate to protect the privacy of people. We have mandate to protect free speech. We have come afar. We can't be going back to improve free speech. No way. We can't do that. But that's why I'm saying that all these suggestions are wonderful. In fact, I know by this, and the minister is equally listening to suggestions. And that's why it's a draft. It will come before us, and this bill will definitely not be passed in this current state. It has never happened. I know there will be serious revisions to the bill as we go along.
So for you,
individual has, yes.
So for you, the discourse is good. It will help to strengthen the bill before it eventually becomes an act. And to the extent that this would come before the committee, you are going to assure us tonight that there will be some thoroughness in working on the bill so that we do not see these glitches eventually.
There will be some thoroughness on working on the bill. There will be an opportunity for all the individuals that are raising genuine concerns to either appear before the committee and put across their concerns for consideration or submit memoranda to the committee for consideration. And definitely, the bill, the debate will be public, the clause by clause will be public, and you will be there to cover it. And you will see how this bill will transform. And I can assure you that this bill will not infringe on free speech.
Very well.
But we are minded to protect children. We are minded to protect individuals. We are minded to protect, because this is a cyber security bill to protect security installations in this country.
Very well.
So we'll strike the balance.
Thank you.
I can assure you.
Thank you so much. That's Honorable Anthony Suma. He is NDC Member of Parliament for Nadoli Kaliu, also member of the Information and Communications Committee. Dr. Atia Kabiru, does that give you some assurance that the right thing would be done? At least he gives that assurance. Doc, can you hear me? Dr. Kabiru, can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you. Unfortunately, I did not hear my
so he said that the bill will be brought before your committee after it comes to this, after the speaker properly refers it to you. And he's assuring and guaranteeing that some thoroughness will be done. There will be a clause-by-clause analysis of the bill before it's eventually passed, and that there would be no infringement on the rights of Ghanaians. And so even though it's a draft bill in circulation which he cannot authenticate, he believes that if there's any problem with it, it will be dealt with properly. Does that give you any assurance?
Well, it's a very reassuring, but just to say that it's unfortunate that even the government side of the committee cannot speak to such a document, and for that document to be in the public domain without the committee's knowledge speaks to the kind of leadership the minister is actually giving us.
Is that not the real reason we need a law like that, so that we don't have things like that in circulation?
No. But you see, this document being in circulation is actually good for the democracy. As a matter of fact, a government that is intending to, in the mid of the night, to slip in or pass a law act to a law, a bill to an act, it's clearly within the laws of the country for people like journalists to expose certain. So if something like this is going to be criminalized, it is basically speaking to the fear of the minority. Look, Umar, how can you say that rude or insulting messages amount to criminal conduct? I've never seen anywhere an insult or being rude will suffice as a criminal conduct, that the public will be interested in regulating such a conduct. Leave it to private law, leave it to civil law, leave the other people, if anyone feels offended by a conduct of another person, he or she can go to court. So I'm happy that my colleague is giving the assurance that a thorough work will be done at the committee. There are certain provisions that are good in the bill. There are certain amendments, I must admit, the protection of a child is so important. And it's in that the draft bill. I agree with the minister and even this particular purported amendment. I agree with it. There are provisions about cybersecurity hygiene. Yeah, I so much agree with some of them, but there are clear provisions that is a reincarnation of the criminal libel and seditious law that were abolished in 2001 by the MPP government, and we should not at any point in time revisit. Remember, we are now even abolishing tribunals. This bill gives the Director General and the deputies the right to arrest anyone they feel is in breach of the act. You cannot give such powers to people anyhow,
very well.
That they can go and arresting people anyhow they want. So we'll do thorough work, and I'm happy that they are willing to cooperate to ensure that the freedom of speech guaranteed under the Constitution will not be shortchanged.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Dr. Atia Kabiru Mahama. He's NPP Member of Parliament for Walwali. He's a member of the Information and Communications Committee of Parliament. We'll be talking about this more. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone. winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like Jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
My hands a champion, creating temptation. 100% natural Kivo, ginger, garlic, onion. No salt, no MSG, no preservatives. Steam them natural, chicken, fish and meat. Yes,
Kivo 3 in 100% natural ginger, garlic, onion powder. Incredible aroma, champion taste. This advert is FDA approved.
Ginger, garlic and onion. 3 in 1 Kivo.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s, you lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds,
"Hello, Kwame."
You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our express points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
The jamming never stops. The game never stops. The productivity never stops. The music never stops. At J&J, we keep your world powered with reliable generators, solar energy, and UPS solutions, so the power never stops. Your go-to for total energy solutions, making sure you work, thrive, and live life uninterrupted. Visit our website, gjtechghana.com, or call us on 0302 689 178 or 179 or 0202 222 220. J&J, your energy partner.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. One of the stories we are looking at tonight is a document that is in circulation allegedly being a draft bill on communication, and we are told that the government is planning to amend the laws to criminalize some sort of social media commentary. You've heard from two members of parliament. The bill is not officially before them, but at least the MPP MP has an issue with some of the clauses. Let's speak to Salom Brantier. He's Vice President of Imani Africa, and he's also in the technology space. I do not have him. Do I have him? Okay, I'm told that I've lost Salom Brantier, but I've spoken to him. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let me bring some of the messages you've been sending through. Daniel Akpaliok from Sandema says the draft bill on criminalizing misinformation is a bold and necessary step to safeguard our democracy from the toxic spread of lies and propaganda. For far too long, the reckless individuals have hidden behind keyboards to peddle falsehood, destroy reputations, and destabilize the nation's peace. Mausi Ayibi Aista from the Volta region says the claim that the government aims to suppress freedom of speech is misleading. In reality, the laws are designed to promote responsible and respectful dialogue, preventing hate speech and harmful content. This is about creating a safer environment for everyone, not limiting our basic rights. True freedom includes respecting others and maintaining civility in our conversations. Baba Chairman in Tamale says this government is deploying both overt and covert means to gag and criminalize free speech, and Ghanaians will do everything possible to stop them. Akapol Jr. in Hafomim, he says the bill, when duly passed, will be more deadly than the PDA introduced by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Ghanaians must therefore stand against this tyrannical bill. Jones Aduboy in La says the last thing the Mahama administration will do is to gag free speech. Unlike the last administration where you dare not comment on certain national issues, today the story is different. Teachers and school heads can talk freely without victimization. Kennedy Onipayede says the Mahama government is not against free speech. The government must sanitize the social media space from unscrupulous comments which cause tension in the country. You can send your message to 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996, or go on Twitter and mention me at Umaru Sanda, or mention at Citi973. Do use the hashtag Eyewitness News when you send your messages through, and we'll read them for you here on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's move on to some other stories now. Ijubi, what do you have?
Well, in education, the Ministry of Education has clarified that the use of Ghanaian languages as the medium of instruction applies only to kindergarten and primary 3 and not across all basic school levels. This follows a directive by the Sector Minister Haruna Idrisu on the compulsory use of Ghanaian languages in schools, a move that has generated widespread public debate. Speaking at the launch of the Foundational Learning Action Tracker, Deputy Education Minister Dr. Clement Apak said the clarification was necessary to address the ongoing discussions.
The Honorable Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has asked me to clarify that the policy directive he announced on Friday regarding the compulsory use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction in our public basic schools is confined, emphasis, confined to KG up to primary 3. In other words, KG and lower primary.
Dr. Clement Apak is Deputy Education Minister. Meanwhile, a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Joyce Teria-Mensah, has warned that the use of local languages in basic education will fail without proper teaching preparations and training. Her comments is after the minister's call, and she was speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show.
I will start from even the training of the teachers, because if we train them with for them to have the skill, they can make some of these materials themselves. So, like making books, using the local material to make books. If we train the teacher, they can do that. But we need some from the government to also complement whatever the teachers are doing. But if we have not trained the people, if we have not trained the teachers, even if you have the material, how will they use it? So this issue is very, very, if we want to use it, then we need to train the implementers very well. Most of the teachers need the skill, the knowledge and the skill. And some don't even understand the concept itself. If you go to especially our early years, because we say the policy says mother tongue, some teachers are speaking in local language.
You heard Dr. Joyce Teria Mensah, a lecturer at the Department of Basic Education at the University of Cape Coast.
Now, when a policy comes through from the ministry, the implementers would be the education service. But the people who are the key persons in the classroom would be the teachers. They are supposed to execute this policy. Thomas Musa would be one of them because he's the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT. Let's see how much information they have on this and what involvement they would be providing. Mr. Musa, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Good evening to you and to all your listeners.
Good evening to you. This idea of using local language to as a medium of communication when teaching, at least in the lower primary school, as has been clarified by the government, were you involved in discussions getting to this?
So thank you very much. It is important to explain this particular policy and that it did not start today. It has been there for so many decades now. And there is a reason for that. You see, when a child comes to school, the first thing you look at is that the child is coming from the home. And there are things that the child is familiar with at the home before coming to school. And so the transition must be made in such a way that the child will be comfortable when the child comes to school. And so we normally have the concept called the concentric approach, which means that you start with the child from the known to the unknown. When we say known, the things that the child knows already. So, for example, the child understands his or her understand the mother tongue. The child is familiar with activities and pictures at the home. So you realize that anytime the child comes to school, those are the things that we start the child with, so that the transition from the home to the school will be smooth. The child should appreciate that I am in school. But in as much as I am in school, the school is not different from my home because I have come here to deal with matters that has to, or the matters that affect home. So that is all. That is all, and that is the reason why the mother tongue was deployed or has been deployed since time immemorial to create that smooth transition from home from home to school, and to make the child comfortable and to help the child to understand that at the end of the day, education about how to master your own environment and deal with the things around you, and how you can explore the things in your own environment to the best of your own ability, to the benefit of the community and the nation at large. So that is why we deploy the mother tongue.
I remember Miss Alice Kufalo, nursery teacher, my nursery teacher, Strategy and Shindi Basic School, did just that, spoke ever or Dangbe sometimes to us because we had just started. However, I also remember that they used to write names of vernacular speakers. At what point did things change then? Because if you say it's been there for decades, then when did we start criminalizing, and I'm using criminalizing advisedly, in the schools? Because it appears that that's what the government is trying to reset.
No, you see, I think the policy has been the same. So normally, up to P3, at P3, you use the mother tongue to communicate, to teach the child and all that. But from P4, it changes. The mother tongue now becomes the subject. Then you use the English language, which is official language, as a medium of communication. That is all.
Okay, so the lower primary, which is nursery to class 3 or P3, is where the mother tongue is supposed to be used. There are a few issues around that. So what percentage of the communication should be mother tongue and what percentage should be English, which is our lingua franca?
From the KG to primary 3, it's 100% use the mother tongue. Like I have said, look, there are areas where we don't have KG. We don't have KG, but we have the primary 1 to 3. like I have said, is to create a smooth transition from the home to the school. Because when the child comes to school first, and you start with English, believe me, when the child goes home, the child will not come again. But when the child comes to the school, and the child should hear the teacher speak the language that the mother or the parents have been speaking to him, or the language that he understands at home, the child will say, oh, after all, there is no difference. I speak this language back home, and I'm speaking it at the school. But by primary 4, you move on. Then the mother tongue now becomes the subject. Then the medium of instruction becomes English. But you don't criminalize it.
Okay.
Gone are the days where you say, you write the names of those who speak vernacular. No, these days we don't do all those things. Because when a child doesn't understand the concept, you don't punish the child that the child doesn't understand.
Okay.
Gone are the days, it's like talk about dictation, mental, 1 to 10, dictation 1 to 10, and all those things. Those things are gone. You don't punish a child because the child doesn't understand the concept. If your child doesn't understand the concept, you must reteach it. That is all.
What about dealing with communities with multiple languages? So, what language is a mother tongue really? Is it the mother tongue of the teacher or the mother tongue of the child? And if it's the mother tongue of the child, which of the children? If you are 50 in class, which language should be used? Should the teacher speak to each student or each pupil with their language or in their language? How would you reconcile and deal with that? Because that again is another challenge.
That is the difficulty. Because when you have multilingual community, and let's say you have every people from the Kasina, Nankana, from the Busa area, Ashanti, Fanti, all of them together, you realize that in the class, when you take a sample size, let's say out of the class of 50, you will see that only if you pick down like this, it will surprise. In some areas you will see that only about 10% can speak that language, or about 20% or 30% can speak Chi. Others also can speak other languages. So to call a specific language a mother tongue and stand upon it and teach becomes difficult. It's really difficult. And so this mother tongue issue, it depends upon the area where you are. It depends upon the kind of community you find yourself in. Then you look at it and then you determine how to apply the policy. Otherwise, you will go to an area where you say, oh, if you have, let's say, about only 10% in your class that understand the Ewe language, and you speak the Ewe, what happens to the 90%? So that is the difficulty. So in that particular instance, the headmaster of the school will need to find a balance. What kind of language, what can best be done to make sure that all the 50 people in that particular classroom benefit from the mother tongue, but benefit from the best medium of communication to ensure that the transition is smooth from the home to the school.
All right. Finally, before you go, another conversation that is making people talk has to do with the haircut policy. The government has insisted that your hair must be cut low when you enter secondary school. It has been a big debate on social media. What's the position of your association?
We 100% support the minister.
Why?
In fact, the minister has done excellently well by the way he explained all the things. Let me tell you something. In this country, we have seen Otofista. In this country, we have seen Rasta. And there are many things. In fact, we have even seen Apuske Leke. We have seen all those kind of dresses before. And parents rose up that we cannot allow these things in our schools. Look, if dressing is not important, then those in the marketing business, they should tell us. Is packaging important or not important? The way we pack, why do we spend so much money in packaging? Why? It's important. So please, when you are going to school, dress to meet the specific purpose for which you are going. Why are we not talking about the way people dress at the military when they are recruits? Why don't we talk about the dressing? The police people, why won't you talk about the way they dress?
The argument is that the argument is
why
made.
would you talk about the way they dress?
The argument is made that knowledge is not in the hair, and the case of Tyrion Magai comes up, where the courts of the land held that he was free to keep his dreadlocks on, and he graduated with beautiful results. And so, the opponents of the policy are saying, leave the hair alone, and that knowledge is not from the hair but from the head.
Umaru, I am paid, teachers, we are paid to do three things. We give students knowledge. Number two, we give them training, character training. That is what we call the affective domain. That is the heart. Then we train their hands. Okay, and aside that, we grew them to be fit for purpose. And so education is not only about knowledge.
But which of these things that you mentioned covers hairstyle?
I'm coming there. I'm coming. When you are educating, you educate a total being. Educate a total being. If you look at courtesy for boys and girls, when we went to school, it is everything about you, the human being. And as to how you live in society, your dressing, the way you greet, the way you eat at table manners, and even the way you sit in a vehicle and everything, all these things are taught.
Times have changed, though, Musa. That was your time was, O level. Times have changed now. Gen Z period.
Let me give an example. Let me cite this example on your show. Look, I visited this friend of mine, and they came from Europe. And the father sent the boy, the son, to go and fetch water. And the boy replied, Daddy, don't you have legs? Daddy, don't you have legs? And I said, what? And I said, Master, why? And the man said, I should not worry. How can your son tell you the father, don't you have? Is that what you want in Ghana? Please. Laws, and every society has its own rules and regulations. We have our culture here. And so when you go to our schools and you are asked to keep your head down, the minister has done well. Let us all support him. And like I said, packaging is very, very important. That is why millions of cedis are spent by the marketers to tell us our products are to be sold. So please, we cannot allow Autofista. We cannot allow a puskeleke. We cannot allow those things to happen. And so also the haircut must be cut down.
Very well.
And if you know that you cannot abide by that, please, you can train your child in the home. Let parents support the schools to get these things done.
Okay. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. That's Thomas Musa, his General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT. Let's hear from someone who superintended over the Ghana Education Service in the past, Michael Nsoa. He was DG of the Ghana Education Service. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
The conversation is back again about the dress code, except that this time we are focusing on the hairstyle. The minister has said it would not happen where children will come to school in the hair that they like. There's been lots of people criticizing that. There's also been lots of people supporting that. The NAT just spoke to me and say they support the minister 100%. Where do you stand on these conversations, sir?
Where I stand, very simple. If the children make hair or weave onto their colleagues, hairdo that is the fashion in vogue. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So if a child comes to school with dreadlocks, with Ponky Joe, like the one I have on my head now, you allow that? You don't mind?
No, I don't mind, because in the long run, you want the children to practice some hairstyles that are in vogue. So why should I be worried about hairstyles that they have discovered?
So I just spoke to the NAT secretary. He says, just like we fought against Otofista in the past and fought against Apus Keleke, he considers this also similar and must be fought. Now, he holds the view that teachers are supposed to groom children when they are brought before them. And the grooming includes courtesy for boys and girls and includes dressing well. If you hold the view that the hair is in vogue, let them wear it, which means they could come to class with colored hair, for instance. You don't mind if they spray their hair green or orange or yellow and come to class?
No, I don't mind. Provided it's what you said, there's a difference between hair dye and
cutting it.
But
difference between dyeing the hair and cutting it.
Yeah. If you are dyeing the hair, that's a different matter. So if you are cutting the hair, it's because you want a head to be at a certain level.
If you have a grandchild now who is going into secondary school, you would not ask her or him to go to the barbers before going to school on their first day.
If I want the child to go to the barber, then I would maybe the difference between the hair that is overgrown or a hair that is not
Okay. One more question before you go, sir. The conversation around using the local language in the community to teach children, do you agree with that as well?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
Okay.
Mike Onsoa is a former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, giving us his own views too on this debate that is ongoing. Do I have some comments here that I can share? Okay, I'll take them subsequently. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Ejubi, you went to the CSSPS Center and the people think you are a GSS.
Oh, very unfortunate.
Why is it unfortunate? It means that you're looking young. You're fine. Like smallish. They think you are in GSS. They thought you were coming to look for posting yourself, self-placement.
No, they don't have to assume. Sometimes you need to ask questions. Please
give us other stories that we have here on the Citi Newsroom.
Well, Cabinet has been speaking and they are cautioning ministers against announcing or implementing policies that have not received Cabinet approval.
I'll come to you. Before that, there's some information we have on this particular subject matter of education. And there's a statement issued by the National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations of government-assisted private schools. And it says, National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations supports Minister of Education's directive on student code of conduct and proper dressing. The National Council of Parent-Teacher Association wholeheartedly supports the Minister of Education's directive to the Ghana Education Service to enforce a code of conduct for students at the pre-tertiary level of education, particularly regarding improper dressing. As representatives of parents and guardians across Ghana, we believe this measure is vital for fostering an environment conducive to learning, discipline, and respect for the educational process. So they talk about the constitutional underpinning and laws backing the ministerial directive. They talk about parental perspectives and concerns. They talk about school climate. and they talk about discipline and character formation. And they say to promote the general welfare of school-going children, wards in their homes, educational institutions, communities, and plans of worship, places of worship. So these are some of the objects to raise the standards of home life through effective early childhood upbringing. And so it talks about safety and identity, cultural sensitivity and balance. We acknowledge Ghana's cultural diversity and emphasize that dress code enforcement should balance respect for cultural expressions with the need for maintaining appropriate educational standards in line with Article 14(1)(e) of the Constitution of Ghana and Article 11, Section 1 of the National PTA Constitution. Rationale for enforcement, it says that promoting discipline. Dress codes are part of broader efforts to cultivate discipline essential for academic success and personal growth. Reducing distractions. Appropriate attire minimizes distractions, fostering an environment focused on learning, equality, and inclusivity. Sensitively crafted dress codes can promote unity and reduce socioeconomic disparities highlighted by varied clothing choices. It talks about preparation for societal norms. The stance of the NCPT. It says, we support for balanced approach. NCPT backs a balanced approach respecting students' rights while upholding standards necessary for effective education in line with constitutional and administrative laws. Collaboration with stakeholders, guidance, and counseling. Call to stakeholders. To the GES, they say we urge careful implementation considering cultural context, student welfare, and educational objectives. To parents and guardians, it says we encourage active parental engagement and sensitization by our PTA structures in supporting schools' efforts to balancing. To the students, it says we call on students to embrace and accept the students' code of conduct so as to foster mutual respect and create conducive school climate for effective teaching, learning, character development, and also prepare awards to conform to standard societal norms and expectation for the world of work. In conclusion, the National Council of PTAs remains committed to partnering with the Ministry of Education, GES, and all stakeholders promoting quality education, aligning academic excellence with character development. So that's a statement signed by Gapsin Kofi Raphael, his General Secretary of the Council of PTAs. And then I just have him on the line. Let me just ask his comment briefly before we go. Mr. Raphael, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, my good brother, Amoru Sanda. Am I speaking to Amoru Sanda?
Yes, Umaru Sanda speaking to Raphael Kofi.
You are a mentor to so many of our children, so keep it up.
Thank you so much. I have a punk, though, by the way.
Your punk is not so much. You are an adult, so you can use it. But as a child, we will not allow.
Okay, but I noticed, and I mentioned punk because I noticed that your statement did not mention the word haircut, even though you kept talking about uniform. You talk about you mentioned a lot of things, but the subject matter of debate now is that
I mentioned it.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it.
I mentioned it. Maybe you didn't look at it.
No, I'm reading it. I did a casual read.
It's captured. Look at the B, parental perspectives and concerns.
B, parental. So parents entrust schools with not only academic education but also character development, which includes proper dress codes by students, such as neatly and well prescribed attire and footwear, always decent haircuts as prescribed by school authorities.
Has it been captured?
Yes, and in continuing, says such haircuts should be clean, neat, and modest, and should avoid extremes in styles and colors. The question is that why should a person's hairstyle matter in classroom?
Why shouldn't it matter, my brother? Let me state this unequivocally. As a National Council of PTA, we wholeheartedly support the directive by the minister. But the truth of the matter is that this is not a novelty. It's something that has been with us over the years. And you and I, when we were schooling, we knew that, yes, anybody below the age of 18 is not seen as an adult. So you need to go through some regimental controls. And for that matter, when you read the 1992 Constitution, Chapter 5 of the 1992 Constitution talks about fundamental human rights. But Section 14, Clause 1E, says as follows. Section 14, Clause 1. Now, every person shall be entitled to his personal liberty, and no person shall be deprived of his personal liberty except in the following cases and in accordance with procedure permitted by law. And the procedure permitted by law is justified in 14(1)(e). That for the purpose of education or welfare of the person who has not attained the age of 18 years. So most of the students at the pre-tertiary level are students who have not attained the age of 18 years. And for that matter, they need to go through prescribed training and code. of conduct as students.
Okay, someone has sent a message that he wanted me to read out to Musa. Unfortunately, Musa is not on the line, so let me read it to you, and I'm sure you can also answer it. It says, please tell Musa, and that's a NAT General Secretary, to groom the kids on how to manufacture a moving airplane rather than dressing. This mentality will not develop Ghana. How do you respond to critics like this?
We are not training children to only become experts in manufacturing of crafts and whatever. We are also training them with proper character development and also for them to be in tune with our African culture and Ghanaian identity. It's part of the training. So there's nothing wrong with it. And you see, when you read our National PTA Constitution, for the purpose of this discussion, let me just read some excerpts of our National PTA Constitution. It talks about discipline and character formation. That the NCPTA Constitution per Article 2, Section 1, A, B, and C, speaks about the purposes of the National PTA in common with those of the regional branch and the school-based branches as follows. To promote the general welfare of school-going children or wards in their homes, educational institutions, communities, and places of worship. To raise the standard of home life through effective early childhood upbringing. And to secure adequate laws for the care and protection of students and people. Can you imagine we allow any child going to school to wear any uniform or just wear anything casual and get to the school? When something happens in the school or there's confusion, how will you be able to identify the child with a particular school? If we allow anybody to just put anything as nails and get to the school, wouldn't they hurt each other? So these issues that we are discussing is towards the safety and identity of schools, of our students, and also the cultural sensibility and balance that we try to acknowledge. Our cultural diversities are there, but emphasis on dress codes enforcement should balance the respect for cultural expression and the need for maintaining appropriate educational standards in line with Article 41E of the Constitution of Ghana and Article 2, Section 1 of the National NPTA Constitution.
How do you balance this position of yours with the position of the court that Tyrion Magai was allowed to go to school with his dreadlocks, and also the fact that a lot of the countries we look up to don't really give they don't care about the dress code and hairstyle you go to school. I just returned from New York. I saw students enter the school bus. They were not wearing any uniform, but they went to school and came back anyway. How do you marry that?
Thank you. So the New York advanced democracy, if we study the time they started practicing democracy and now, we are two different extremes. The level of technological advancement in New York, the level of systems in the school environment there and our school environment, there's a vast difference. It's difficult for you to commit crime there. But in our environment here, people can do, the schools don't even have any proper facilities and all those kind of things. So we are expecting to do the two different extremes. And you need to look at the situation and situate laws that favors your situation. So that is my first point on that. Secondly, I want to re-echo and reinforce the fact that promoting discipline, dress codes are part of broader efforts to cultivate discipline essential for academic success and personal growth. Most of the schools in Ghana now, we just celebrated Mauli Secondary School's 75th anniversary. Most of the schools that have become the model of academic excellence at the pre-tertiary level, and then most of our students want to attend to those schools. They want to attend to those schools because those schools have kept certain best standards of practice and behavior that has made them carve a niche for themselves that everybody wants his child or his ward to go to that place. And we need to do it for the other places across board. So we are just pleading, and we are saying that in situations like what has happened with the dreadlock issue, I always say that it's like the story of Samson and Delilah. Samson's strength was in his hair. Am I right?
Continue.
Continue. Samson's strength was in his hair. So if there's a justification that, for these purposes, maybe for medicinal purposes or for medical purposes, somebody needs to wear a lens to be able to learn, there's nothing wrong with it. If somebody's hair, there will be enough justification, maybe spiritual or whatever justification, to show that if that thing is taken off, it will make the person disadvantaged not to learn. Then we can look at it, because to every rule there are exceptions. But the general standard of behavior and conformity, we should all stick to it. As a journalist in your studio, you don't, excuse my language, you don't just dress anyone and go to the studio. They prepare you for the studio. There's a dress code. There's a way you need to put yourself. Even the voice you use, there's a voice for radio. And you need to have that voice to be able to do the honorable thing to make Citi FM get the niche keep on with the niche and then carve the brand that it has carved for itself.
Very well.
So we are saying that when they are students, let's see them as students and deal with them as students. When they are at the tertiary level and decide to dress the way they want to dress, even that one I've been told that the UPSA has even prescribed dress codes. So if those who want to discuss this can look at it from that perspective.
Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Raphael Kofi Kapson is General Secretary of the National Council of Parent Teacher Association. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's now time for the latest in the world of business, and then we have Point Blank. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
It's your day off and you end up looking after the baby while your wife goes off to work. You realize you have no idea how to change a diaper. So you video call your wife.
Hello, darling.
Yeah, hello.
Kojo, is everything all right?
Everything is not all right. I'm not seeing Topo. How do I change a baby's diaper, please?
Kojo. Okay, first, put the diaper.
The video call freezes. While you wait for the internet to catch up, the baby sprouts a fountain and wets the diaper. As you are getting a new one, your wife comes back online.
Kojo, no.
But I have to go and get a new diaper. What must I do next? I beg, quick.
Open the front of the diaper. It's the side that has...
Wow, look. The video freezes again. Abba.
By now, you know where the conversation is going. There's no buffering in real life, so why accept it from your internet connection? Get connected and experience ultra-fast internet to your home, powered by MTN Fiber Broadband. From the Internet Masters.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you ready to unlock the next big thing? It's a universe of endless possibilities. Get ready to be part of this universe.
Who is calling me this other one?
Hello. Good evening, Kwame.
Good evening.
We are into baby foods and would like to introduce...
Wait a minute. How did you get my number? You just use ways and means to find people's numbers and be calling them by heart. No respect for privacy or anything at all.
Oh, Bra Kwame.
Is your business privacy ready? Do you collect and use information of people in your line of work, like their name, number, location? You might be doing the wrong things. Whether you're a big company or a small one, you must respect people's right to privacy. Register and be certified by the Data Protection Commission of Ghana. It is the law. You will receive the necessary training, advice, and guided on the right systems to put in place to help protect information you collect about people. Register your company. It's simple and online. Visit www.dataprotection.org.gh to register. Privacy is the responsibility of everyone. Remember, privacy is personal.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Wiafe Akintin. Let's settle for the details. The Bank of Ghana has rolled out new anti-money laundering guidelines aimed at tightening oversight and ensuring stronger compliance across the financial sector. The move, according to the central bank, forms part of ongoing efforts to fortify Ghana's financial system against illicit financial flows and align the country's practices with international standards. There's more in the following report.
The revised 2025 guideline introduces enhanced due diligence procedures for banks, specialized deposit-taking institutions, and other regulated financial entities. Institutions are now required to identify and verify the identities of their customers more rigorously, assess risk exposure, and report suspicious transactions promptly to the Financial Intelligence Center. It also places greater accountability on boards and senior management to oversee compliance frameworks and ensure continuous staff training on anti-money laundering practices. The Bank of Ghana emphasizes that the guidelines seeks to deepen risk-based supervision and prevent financial institutions from being used as a conduit for money laundering, terrorism financing, or proliferation-related activities. It also incorporates new provisions on politically exposed persons, beneficial ownership transparency, and the use of technology in monitoring financial transactions. The bank has urged all financial institutions to familiarize themselves with the new framework and ensure full compliance, warning that non-adherence will attract regulatory sanctions.
Emmanuel Paul filed that business desk report. Away from that, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Robert Jato, has emphasized the need for stronger measures to safeguard the recent gains of the Ghana Citi and ensure long-term currency stability. Speaking at the launch of the 2025 Bankers Week in Accra, he said this year's event would provide a platform for stakeholders in the financial sector to deliberate on how to respond to emerging global developments such as artificial intelligence and other technological trends that could pose risk to the country's financial stability.
Our mandate, which is enshrined in the Chartered Institute of Bankers Act, is to promote banking education, but also regulate the practice of the banking profession. For us, part of that is thought leadership. And that is really coming together to design and have conversations around things that are important to bankers, but things that we can do to strengthen the entire financial services system. Remember that banking accounts for almost 80% of the total financial sector assets. And therefore, if bankers get it right, then of course the entire economy gets it right as well. So the Bankers Week activities for me, they are things that we should all be engaged in. As Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, it will be important to have the conversation around how do we continue to protect our sovereign currency amidst all the cryptocurrency developments, AI and other things. So for me, that's been the thought leadership and creating insight, and the platform for those insights will be a key evidence or indicator of success. And of course, ultimately, shaping policy. The insight from there should also shape and inform policy for the financial service sector. Those are key indicators. So participation, thought leadership, shaping policy and the future of our industry and our economy and our country for that matter will be very crucial.
That was Chief Executive Officer of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana, Robert Jato. Now, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ituahene has asserted that the improvement in the banking industry's asset quality is a clear sign that Ghana's economy is rebounding. His comments follow the Bank of Ghana's latest data, which showed that the sector's asset quality improved in August 2025 compared to the same period in 2024. Although credit risk remains relatively high. Dr. Ituahene tells Citi Business News that the improvement reflects stronger risk management and a gradual recovery in economic activity.
The good thing about it is that we've seen inflation declining consistently, meaning that the policy rate has also declined. Currently, all things being equal, if the policy rate comes down, and it transfers to Ghana reference rate, and then it goes into the lending rate, then the economy would actually start recovering. And another good thing that has happened is that the minister has helped to bring the treasury bill rate. The opportunity cost is that instead of you giving the money to a customer to go, you go and buy a treasury bill. The government has made it in such a way that I think last the treasury bill lending rate, 91 days, was 10.7%. So the banks have no business going to buy treasury bill. They will have business to inject support businesses.
Dr. Richmond Ituahene is a banking consultant. The Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana is calling for continuous advocacy to create a more conducive environment for private sector players in aquaculture industry. The Chamber says the sustainability of the sector depends on strong policy support, affordable inputs, and investment-friendly conditions to boost production and job creation. Speaking to Citi Business News, Chief Executive Officer Jacob Ajika said consistent engagement between government and industry players is vital to sustaining growth in the aquaculture value chain.
From 2019 to 2022, we realized the industry has so many challenges. Outbreak of diseases, low regulation of the aquaculture sector, just to mention a few. And we realized that something has to be done. And as private sector players, we were not that so close to each other, and all stakeholders were not really working together or collaborating enough to create an enabling environment for the aquaculture sector to thrive and grow. So we decided to come up with this initiative called Aquaculture Ghana, a platform that brings all stakeholders of the aquaculture industry together. And through the Aquaculture Ghana platform, we have indeed solved some of the problems. Problems such as low regulation of the aquaculture sector. We've been able to advocate for improvement in that space, and even review of the Fisheries and Aquaculture Acts. Then we realized that most of the acts governing the aquaculture sector was, I wouldn't say outmoded, but doesn't meet current needs.
You heard CEO of the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana, Jacob Ajika. The Nuclear Regulatory Authority says Ghana's nuclear regulatory framework, designed in line with the international best practices, is expected to receive approval by the end of year. According to the authority, this milestone will represent a significant step towards Ghana's long-term goal of establishing its first nuclear power plant. Speaking to Citi Business News, the Director General of the authority, Professor Francis Otu, said the approval process is progressing steadily as Ghana works to ensure compliance with global nuclear safety and security standards.
Our role is to make sure that we are preparing in terms of how we can build our infrastructure with regard to regulations. And then also, three of the institutions, GAEC, Nuclear Power Ghana, and NRA, we have done a lot of collaborative programs, workshops, and others. So as a nuclear regulatory body, one of the main activities we need to do to make sure that we are getting our infrastructure, especially our regulations, of which is on course.
Professor Francis Otu is Director General of the Nuclear Regulatory Authority. And that's it for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ijubi Biafe Akenteme. Thanks for listening.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Dreaming big, thinking Africa. UBA Ghana's got your back. For business growth and expansion, UBA Ghana's got your back. With a 6 billion after loan facility, UBA Ghana's got your back. With POPs, send and receive money anywhere, UBA Ghana's got your back.
UBA Ghana has got your back. With the 6 billion after loan facility, your business can grow, export and trade across the continent.
And with POPs, send and receive money across Africa instantly. Now live on Leo, your 247 digital banking buddy. UBA Ghana,
connecting you to Africa's opportunities. UBA,
Africa's global bank.
UBA Ghana's got your back. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community go win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work?
Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509 551 609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Omar Rusanda Amado. Before I bring you the main issue for tonight, let me just give you a headline story that we missed on Eyewitness News. Now, 5 people, including a radio presenter, were shot when unidentified gunmen attacked a residence in the Bindure district of the Upper East region. 3 of the victims, including a 5-year-old child, died instantly. 2 others, including the presenter with Max Empire Radio by name George Bukari, sustained injuries and they are receiving treatment. Residents suspect the attack may be linked to the protracted Boko conflict. We've been attempting to hear from the the district chief executive and the regional minister on this subject. We've been unsuccessful. When we get a comment from them, we'll be speaking to them because they are the heads of the District Security Council and the Regional Security Council, respectively. Now let's go to another story. The Member of Parliament for Tolong, who is Deputy Minority Chief Whip, Honorable Habib Idris, is asking for information on that helicopter crash recorded on August 6, which claimed the lives of 8 Ghanaians, including ministers of state. What exactly is he requesting for his journalists online? Honorable Habib, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good evening and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, Alexander.
What are you requesting for and from whom?
I am requesting for information and an update, or in the form of an update or a report from the President, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Force, with regards to the Right Information Bill about the unfortunate incident that happened on August 6, 2025, that we lost about 8 Ghanaians' lives in the helicopter crash.
So what exactly are you looking for? What information do you need from the president?
Yes, if you quite remember, a committee was set up, and the committee, according to their mandate and what they're supposed to do, on the 25th of August, that the committee was set up, and they were given 1 month to submit a report. At the moment, we haven't heard anything, and it is more than the time that they were given. The presidency or the minister haven't upgraded Ghanaians or updated Ghanaians with regards to what actually is going on. And this incident that happened, it was a serious strategy that Ghanaians are very interested in knowing exactly what happened that led to this unfortunate crash. So my letter to the president is to either update us as to what is going on or make the report of what actually happened public, because there are families involved. A lot of Ghanaians are, asking questions that there will be a helicopter crash that involved the defense minister of the republic and other military officers and the minister for environment, science and technology. And up to now, it has not been done. But we have already gone through the constitutional work. The minister for environment, who was a member of parliament for Tamale Central, has already been replaced in parliament. And then I think it is high time the president make this report public or update Ghanaians as to what actually happened. Or Omar Sanda, you don't want to know what actually happened?
What I want to know is a military helicopter. It was a military helicopter. That borders on national security. Why do you want us to discuss private security matters in public?
I don't know it's national security unless you are telling me. What I do know is that citizens of Ghana were serving on official duty there. There's an helicopter. There was a crash. And after the crash, a committee was set up to be able to investigate and make their report. And we need to know what actually happened, what led to the crash. Because it will interest you to know that at the end of the day, after the crash, there are a lot of incidents that happened. Even before the crash, the then minister responsible, may his soul rest in peace, for defense, Dr. Omani Boama, had appear before Parliament telling us how the presidential jet was unfit and how many of the aircraft that we have with or helicopters that we were having were unfit for purpose. And now this incident has happened. But it also interests you to know that many people are of the view that even the black box analysis, Ghana, we cannot be able to analyze whatever is in the black box. Aircraft, even stimulating what might have happened, Ghana, we don't have the capacity to do. Making the reports public or updating us in it will be able to let us know or carry us along. If you cannot make the report ready due to national security concern, we might know, but it cannot be the entire report that is of national security. People need to know, and Ghanaians must be updated, and we must know actually what has happened. There have been air crash in many aspects of the world, and they have actually made their reports public. And I think that the president owes us as a duty to be able to brief us and update us as to what actually happened. We cannot leave it like that. It cannot die like that. And it cannot be just something that we leave under the carpet as if nothing has happened.
The question would be, what do you need it for? I mean, is government said they were investigating, government may have received the information, government will use the information as it so believes is needed. Why should it be given to Habib? What is he going to do with the information?
I am not saying that it should be given to Habib. I am saying if you read the letter that I sent to the president, part of it, I have informed him that I am aware. If you look at, I think, paragraph 2, I said, in light of the time that has passed and the surveillance of public interest in the matter, I respectfully request for a copy of the investigation report update. The request is made, and I quoted the sections that have given me the authority to do that. I said the public deserves to know what led to the tragic loss of such prominent figures in our country. And then,
but what does the public need it for? If not, and forgive me, I'm just playing the devil's advocate. I don't speak for the government. Phyllis Kwachi does that. But I'm saying, if someone says to you, you're just interested in prying, what do you need that for as a public? What would be the response?
I have already informed you, and I have already answered that question. I have informed you that earlier on, the minister responsible for defense had briefed Parliament and telling us how unfit many of our things. Even up to now, the president is not using his presidential jet. I understand from the last brief that I have, because it has been sent for maintenance and many other things. And for an aircraft to just a helicopter to just fly with our defense minister and then got crashed, and we don't nothing is being said. We don't know actually what happened. We have not been briefed as to what is going on. We have not been updated as to what is going on, and they have set up a committee. If they know it was a national security concern, and they don't need to tell us that a committee has been set up publicly, that the committee has been set up, and they also inform us that the committee has been given 30 days. It was national security. They could have left it under the carpet and let national security do their investigation without making it public. They have informed us as Ghanaians that this is the committee that has been set up, and they inform us as Ghanaians that they have given them 30 days to make the report, and we want to know exactly what is in that.
So the journalist,
exactly what caused the death.
The journalists
these
in
are
you,
people who have these are people who have families. They have sons and daughters, and their children will want to know what actually led to the death of my father, that what actually led to the death of my uncle or my brother. People need to know, and people need answers.
So the journalist in you just wants an update. Fair enough. But your colleague and former Minister for Defense has also been speaking on this subject, but he is more interested in replacing the ministers or the president appointing ministers to replace those who passed in the portfolios that they were occupying, especially the Ministry of Defense. The government chief spokesperson, Felix Kwachovozo, has responded that would be done in due course. Is there a need for a hurry for a Minister of Defense to be appointed, considering that a finance minister has been put in charge of that? And we are made to understand that a lot of our armed forces needs and defense needs are financial in nature. And so if the finance minister is in charge of that ministry, it's like using one stone rather to kill two birds. Forgive me, I was going to quote a certain from
Alexander, I'm a member of parliament. I represent the good people of Tolong. If they need to buy new aircraft, there must be justification. If actually the report is made public and it is to an extent that the aircraft was not fit for purpose and everything, it's something that I will gladly support. The former Minister for Defense, Honorable Dominic Nitwil, call is such that for the interest of security of the country, a country cannot be there without a substantive defense minister. That is the call that he is making. And the call that I am also making is for them to be able to inform us what led to the death of our defense minister in the air crash, in the helicopter crash. So it is two separate things that we are looking for. But at the end of the day, I am asking this in my right, citizen of the country and the representative of the good people of Tolong, and as a member of parliament and a leader in parliament, we need to know. We need to know that the government needs to be accountable to his people. We need to know that government is actually working on it, and government needs to actually brief us on it. If actually the entire report, I am very concerned about national security implications, but the entire report cannot be national security covered.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Honorable Habib Idris. He's an NPP Member of Parliament for Tolong. He's also Deputy Minority Chief Whip in Parliament. He has written to the President asking for updates on the helicopter crash, the investigations that were conducted. He wants to know, and indeed he believes that Ghanaians ought to know what happened. But that's how we end tonight's edition of Eyewitness News, which came to you from our studios in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with the Jubi Wiafia Kentim, produced tonight by Bevlin London, with support and guidance from our head of current affairs, Fred Tete Jabano, our head of news, Nanatufo Boatin, and news editor Sami Uwiafi, as well as our head of digital media and news platforms, Kwabena Wilson. Daniel Squashy supported us from the technical side, and the new media team handled the live feed we brought you. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT, 97.3 Citi FM, relevant radio always.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.